What is it you want? Do you want to abolish the euro, or do you want to retrench the euro back into a smaller, more sustainable zone?
The latter would be the least we would like to do.
The second one.
Moving completely back to national currencies is an option, though. It basically depends on whether the bailout will still be possible, the bailing out of overly indebted states. Our prime goal is actually to get rid of the southern European countries.
Get rid of the southern European countries.
Let them exit the euro and let them actually regain a national currency which also allows them to be competitive again.
Would that not put Germany at a huge disadvantage? Because if you, to use your phrase, got rid of the Club Med countries, if I can call them that, their currency, they went back to the lira and the peseto and the drachma, their currencies would devalue enormously. The German euro, what's left of the euro, or the mark, if you go back to that, would soar. All of your exports would be priced out of the market.
That's not quite true. First thing, it would be just fair if the southern European countries also had their chance in European competition. Currently, the implicit German currency is just undervalued, and the currency of the southern European states is overvalued. And then the important thing is that exports don't only depend on exchange rates, they also depend on demand and income. And these countries are now severely in a recession. German exports actually have dropped by 25%.
They've been falling because just people haven't got the money.
Exactly, yes. So if we boost their economies, German exports will actually benefit from that.
We're discussing this new, can I call it a Eurosceptic party in Germany?
Of course you can, yes.
So
yes.
with Professor Lucke, one of the leading lights of this new Eurosceptic party. If Germany simply left the euro itself, that would be the end of the euro, wouldn't it?
That would probably be the end of the euro, and it is not what we recommend. Right. We recommend a gradual dismantling, as I said, starting with the southern European countries.
You will know, though, that at the time when it was Mr. Mitterrand, President Mitterrand in France, and Chancellor Kohl in Germany, that many people knew at the time that including all these countries, Italy, Greece, Spain, Portugal, that were nowhere near the Maastricht criteria, many people knew that it would probably end in tears the way it is at the moment. But Mr. Kohl and Mr. Mitterrand were on a political game. They wanted political union. And surely if you allow the Eurozone to break up the way you're suggesting, it kind of holds the whole Euro project below the waterline.
I mean, many economists have warned in 1992 and 1999 not to establish a common currency, and they were ignored everywhere except in Britain, I suppose. So you were very wise not to do it.
There were plenty of people here telling us to join too. They keep their heads a little lower now.
Yeah. But, I mean, as far as the political dimension of the euro is concerned, I think that is actually exaggerated. I mean, the European Union has fared very well in times in which we did not have a common currency, and currently it does not fare well. So I think actually it is very reasonable to think about this common currency critically and move back to a system which is more flexible.
You got a German soulmate now, Tam?
Well, I think it's very significant because it represents something that I felt for a very long time, that Britain is not isolated in Europe. There are many people throughout Europe, including now in Germany with Professor Lucke here, saying very much the same things as the Conservative Party has been saying for many years about Europe. It's over-centralised, it's over-bureaucratic, it's too expensive, it creates regulations that people would rather not stick to. And this is the great opportunity that David Cameron has spotted, not just for Britain to have a renegotiation, but for the whole of Europe to decide what is in our collective interest and to create a new Europe with less centralisation, less expense, less bureaucracy. The single currency is a key question for Germany. I have no idea how this is going to be resolved. But actually what the Chancellor in Germany is trying to do, keep kicking the can along the road for a bit longer, is probably the right thing at the moment to create a little bit of stability within Europe. Whether we end with some countries falling out of the euro, I don't yet know.
Just final question to you, Professor. Would it be rude of me to suggest you're actually not going to do that well in the September federal elections?
Well, whether we do well or not, this basically depends on how much money we can raise for our campaign, which is actually our most severe problem currently. The established parties get millions of euros in state funds, and newly founded parties do not. So
Tam's rolling in it. You could tap him for a few euros.
Good argument against state funding, though.
All right. Professor Luca, thank you for being with us today.
You're very welcome.